What if I told you that one small decision, a choice you could make today, could completely rewrite your financial future? I'm not talking about some risky stock pick or winning the lottery. I'm talking about a simple, consistent choice that could be the difference between retiring wealthy and, well, not.
So let me ask you something, and be honest. Do you ever feel like you're just running on a financial treadmill? You know, you earn money, you spend money, and the cycle just repeats over and over, but you never really seem to get ahead. It's a trap, and a whole lot of people are stuck in it without even knowing.
And if you think I'm exaggerating, get this. A recent study found that more than half of all Americans couldn't get their hands on just $1,000 for an emergency. And we're not just talking about people struggling to make ends meet. This includes people with good jobs and what look like comfortable lives. They're all living just one flat tire or one surprise medical bill away from a real crisis.
And that really brings us to the heart of the problem here, this hidden financial trap. It's this place where looking successful on the outside can actually be hiding a really fragile situation on the inside.
We see this illusion all around us, right? On the surface, you see the nice car, the cool clothes, the brand new phone, but what's the reality behind that? For so many, it's just that endless cycle of earn, spend, earn, spend. It's living paycheck to paycheck, basically being broke without ever admitting it.
So, how in the world do you escape this thing? Well, the answer probably isn't what you're expecting. It's not some crazy Wall Street trade or a lucky lottery ticket. It's actually something much, much simpler. And to be honest, it's a little bit boring.
And here it is. This is the whole secret right here. The real path to building wealth isn't flashy. It's built on three simple things: consistency, time, and the absolute magic of compound growth. It gets overlooked all the time because, well, it's just not that exciting.
Think about this for a second. Just by starting with $100 a month, you immediately launch yourself ahead of the majority of people out there. It's not that $100 is a life-changing amount of money on its own. It's that the simple act of creating a consistent saving habit is something most people just never do.
Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. $100, great idea, but where am I supposed to find an extra $100? And that's the key. It's not always about earning more. It's about looking at the money you already have and just redirecting it.
And that really boils down to two very straightforward paths. You can either cut back on what you're already spending, or you can find a way to bring in a little extra. Honestly, the most successful people, they usually do a bit of both.
So, where do you start looking? First, check your fixed costs. You'd be amazed what a few phone calls to your insurance company or cell phone provider can save you. Next, do a subscription audit. Are you really using all those streaming services and apps? And finally, just tweak your daily habits. Packing a lunch a few more times a week, or skipping a couple of those impulse buys at the checkout, it all adds up to that $100, easy. Okay, so you did it. You found your $100. Now for the really fun part. This is where we see how that small, kind of boring amount starts to transform into something truly massive. This is the moment your money starts working for you around the clock.
Look, building real wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. This timeline kind of shows you how that journey plays out. Those first few years are just about getting the habit started. By year 10, you start to feel some real momentum. Around year 20, things get serious. And by year 40, well, that's when you start talking about real financial freedom.
So over those 40 years, by putting in just $100 every single month, you would have contributed a total of $48,000 of your own money. And hey, that's a good chunk of change for sure, but it's not the whole story. It's not even close.
Because on top of that 48 grand, your money has been working. It's been busy. Assuming a pretty standard 8% average annual return, which is a reasonable expectation from something like a simple stock market index fund over a long time, your investments would have generated an extra $300,000 all by themselves.
Which brings your grand total to right around $350,000. Just stop and think about that for a second. You put in less than $50,000, and you end up with more than 7 times that amount. That, right there, is the mind-blowing power of compounding in action.
I mean, just look at this chart. Your own money, the cash you put in from your paycheck, it makes up only this tiny little sliver of the final pie. The vast majority, a staggering 85%, is just pure growth. It's not your labor that built most of this wealth. It was your money's labor. But, you know, the numbers are only half of it. The real magic in this whole process isn't just what happens to your bank account. It's the transformation that happens in your head.
And the secret to making this habit stick is to automate it. You set up an automatic transfer for that $100 the day you get paid.
You have to treat it just like your rent or your phone bill. It's a non-negotiable payment that you make to your future self first before anybody else gets a dime.
And when you do this, it completely flips how you see things. You stop asking the old question, can I afford this? And you start asking a much smarter question, what is the future cost of this purchase? That $100 dinner out isn't just $100 anymore. It represents the thousands of dollars it could have turned into.
And when you really truly get compounding, you realize something profound. Your most valuable asset isn't your salary, it's not your car, it's not even your house, it's time. Every single month you wait to start is a month of potential growth you can never, ever get back.
You know that old saying, right? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now, today. The exact same thing is true for investing. You can't go back in time, but you have all the power to act at this very moment. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it?